guys! So I just got back from my vacation and cruise and like my birthday celebration. So that's why it took me so long to finally be back. I'm very sorry about that. Today I'm actually going to be reviewing the Marc Jacobs ReMarcable foundation, which is pretty new. I think it only came out a few weeks ago. And like the newest trend right now, like foundation wise, is kind of like really fluid, like ultra concentrated foundations that are just like, they go on super light and you don't need a lot, but they give you full coverage. Kind of like the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, which I also did a review of. So Marc Jacobs just came up with one very similar. It comes in 22 shades, and this is what the box looks like. Marc Jacobs ReMarcable. And it says that it's an ultra lightweight oil-free foundation concentrate that delivers 24 hours of full coverage wear. I'm not gonna be able to wear it for 24 hours for you guys, but I will wear it for about 14 or 15. I have a 12-hour shift, so it'll probably be closer to 15 hours because it's just now 4:30. So I can give you a pretty good view on how long wearing it is. As you can see, I have combo skin. My face is freshly washed and I only moisturized. I will put on a primer on half of my face and no primer on the other just to see if it does better with a primer. If you watched my Too Faced Born This Way foundation review, you'll know that I didn't put a primer on the first day at all, and I had to like do a second day review for you guys just so we could see if it would last longer. So we're just gonna get it over with in one shot. So this just says that it is foundation coverage that lasts all day long, get 24-hour wear and flawless coverage in an instant with this ultra lightweight foundation concentrate. So according to Sephora, this is a revolutionary oil-free formula that contains twice as much pigment as a leading full coverage foundation that's infused with an innovative ingredient. So this does say that it's enriched with Marc Jacobs patented golden pigments that are wrapped in lecithin. I think that's how you say that. Lecithin, which is an ingredient that's biochemically similar to skin for immediate effortless blending and smooth soft matte finish. So it comes, like I said, did I say earlier? It comes in 22 shades. I don't know if I mentioned that already. And it comes with one of these like dot applicator things that you just kind of dab onto your face. I got matched originally last week to this, and they matched me to medium ivory, which ended up being hella light for me. And so I went to Sephora today and I was helped by a really awesome guy, Avery. Avery is so nice. So if you live in Gainesville and you need to like go to Sephora, ask for Avery because he's fabulous. Anyway, he matched me to beige deep because I am tan post-cruise, but my face is like paler than my body. So he got me something that would kind of match the rest of my face. So I'll just carry it down on my neck a little bit. In fact, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see all of me. Okay, so I zoomed out a little bit so you can get a picture of all of me. Like my neck and my face are a bit paler than my body, but I don't want to look like a ghost faced in my pictures like I did in my birthday pictures with the medium ivory shade. So hopefully this shade is better. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and apply the Hourglass primer to half of my face. This stuff goes like a really long way. Like a little bit goes a long way. So I'm just going to apply it to the left side of my face. I will do my best to remember what side I've applied it on. I don't think it should be too hard. So we'll see if this applies any differently or lasts any longer on this side. So I got this brush for free on Facebook from some brand called Sakara. I don't know. But it's really dense and it seems to apply foundations pretty well. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this, and if it sucks, then I'll use my Sephora 55, but we'll see. It comes in a glass bottle like this with a black top, and you just take that top off, and it has a twisty thing with that like applicator, that plastic drop applicator that a lot of people don't like because it's kind of unsanitary. I don't really care because my face is almost always clean if I'm putting on makeup, but if that really bothers you, you can just put it directly onto a clean brush, or maybe sanitize your hand and put some drops on your hand and just pick that up with your brush. I mean, it doesn't bother me at all. At least it has something, and it's not just like a, but I think a pump would just give you too much. They should do like a dropper, like a legit dropper, like a, I don't know. Anyway, so it's got this frosted glass bottom, so you'll either like that or not because it does feel very breakable. Like it, I don't know, I kind of like plastic better in that sense, but I mean, it is very beautiful. And this foundation retails for $55, so I guess they want to deliver on nice packaging. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this apparently you don't need a lot. So I'm just gonna do the side of my face with a primer first. And I think this looks like a pretty decent match. It definitely looks hella better than medium ivory. Ooh. Wow. Okay. This feels so good going onto the skin. Like, it's ridiculous. It just blends effortlessly. It's crazy. It feels so good. And it's definitely full coverage. Like, super full coverage. Like, that didn't take a lot. Like, that probably wouldn't even be a pump of foundation if this had a pump. So while this is $55 and you only get 0.75 fluid ounces, so most foundations are an ounce, you only get 0.75, it's gonna last you a really long time. Like a really long time, because you barely have to use anything. I think that it says that it's a matte finish, and it is pretty matte, but it kind of gives your skin like it looks like skin to me. It's not like, as you can see, it's not like completely matte, like no shine coming through, if that makes sense. I would say it's a really natural finish, more on the matte side. So I'll let you see. This is half of my face without the foundation. And this is the side of the face with the foundation on. And it looks so beautiful in real life. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but I really like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply it to the other side of my face without the primer, and we'll see if it applies as smoothly. Okay, so while it is still applying really nice, it definitely applied better on the side with the primer. So I think if you don't have a primer, it's not going to be a big deal as far as application is concerned. I don't know if it's going to make it last longer or not though, but I mean, it's still blending effortlessly. It's just not quite as nice, if that makes any sense. But it still looks really good. It's just so pretty. When I tried out the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, I was amazed at how beautiful and flawless it looked when I put it on. But just a few hours in, I started looking like an oil slick, so it's very dewy. So hopefully that doesn't happen with this one, because I really love these types of foundations to where they're so light, but they're so full coverage, and it just looks like your skin is flawless. It looks so good. So I'm gonna zoom in so you can get a closer look before I head off to finish my makeup. I think that Avery did a really good job matching me. It definitely matches my body a lot better than the medium ivory did. I have a lot of redness in my skin, so it's not gonna be like a perfect match to my, just look at that golden tan. I'm gonna go ahead upstairs and I'm gonna bronze and finish the rest of my makeup, and I'll be back to let you know how everything applied over this foundation. So I just put on the rest of my makeup. I did not actually set this foundation with a powder. The only areas I set were my laugh lines and my under eyes. I did notice that the foundation kind of sunk a little bit into my laugh lines, so I just tried to buff it out a little bit, and then I used the e.l.f. HD setting powder in my laugh lines, and then my under eyes always crease, so I just used some powder under there, because this foundation just, it's not tacky at all. It just didn't feel like it needed to be set, which I'm super into setting my foundation with a powder. I'm like, ugh, everything needs to be set. But in the case of this foundation, like, it feels really matte. It doesn't feel tacky at all. It does not feel like it's going anywhere. So if I find that I'm getting a little bit shiny in my T-zone area, when I need it, I will set it with a powder, which, you know, usually I have to do a couple hours in, so we'll definitely look. But right now, I think it looks absolutely flawless. I use both cream and powder makeup on top of this foundation. I use the Colourpop bronzer in the shade Poolside, I think, for, you know, just bronzing a little bit, and the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in the color Early Bird. I don't know. I'll list it below because I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's Early Bird. And then I used my much loved Becca Champagne Pop to highlight my cheekbones here. I really wanted an intense highlight today. I don't know why. I'm feeling sunny. So I went ahead and I used some MAC Fix Plus just on my brush when I applied it to get that intense highlight, but oh my gosh, just can't even. Love it. And as for my lips, what I've been wearing the whole video is the shade Solow from Colourpop, their Ultra Matte Lip. I am just super into Colourpop lately. I don't know. I love them so much. I'm going to be doing like a collective haul from them eventually. I wanted to use it all before I like reviewed it for you guys. But so far, I am loving this foundation. Everything went on top of it super easily. Nothing got cakey. I had no problems. The only thing that bothered me a little bit was that it got into my laugh lanes. My laugh lanes. The only thing that bothered me was that it got into my laugh lines a little bit, but I have like the Grand Canyon right there. So I will give you guys an update in a few hours on how this foundation's doing and if I had to go back in and set it with a powder and how it's holding up, because as you can see right now, I have a flawless, beautiful coverage. Let's see how it holds up on a nurse's long ass shift. I'll see you guys in a few hours. Alright guys, so it is almost 2 a.m. so I wanted to do an update for you on how the foundation is doing. Overall, I think it's doing really well. I did not set it with a powder when I put it on, and I haven't done any touch-ups or anything since. I am starting to get a little bit oily on my nose and just right up here on my forehead. Everything else that's shiny that you see is just my Becca highlight, because I did like a real intense highlight today. So it's just starting to get oily here and here. I did notice that I've had a little bit of breakdown on my nose, which is normal for me because my nose is always my problem. Like, everything melts off of it. I didn't notice any more settling into my fine lines than what I noticed initially, like after I set that with a powder, like just my lines, I don't know, you just saw it, you forget it. So I haven't noticed any more setting in my fine lines since that initial settling, but it is definitely holding up well. The coverage is still great. I've maybe have had a little bit of, you know, wearing off here, but not a lot. Like, I clearly don't have super full coverage here anymore, but you know, I sit like this a lot when I'm bored at work. I'm just like, so that's probably why it's really, you know, worn off there. But overall, it still looks really good. My only other complaints really about this foundation are it doesn't look natural. So it's so light and it does give you full coverage, but when you're wearing it, you can tell you are wearing a full coverage foundation. I don't think that it makes you look cake face. I just think that it makes you look unnatural, and it just kind of sits on your skin. You know, some foundations, like, you put them on and they just like look one with your skin, like, I don't know, MAC Face and Body or the Urban Decay Naked, but this one you can just really see it like in your pores and just kind of on top of your skin. And if you have dry skin, I really think that you'll hate this foundation, because it is like, I have oily, like I have combo skin, so I'm a little dry down here, and in my dry patches like around my mouth and on my chin, I have noticed, like, you can really see it there. I wish my camera was like picking it up better, but I'm at work, so this is my iPad. But yeah, it just kind of clings to dry patches. So if you have dry skin, I would recommend trying the Too Faced Born This Way, because that was like hella dewy on me, but it's like a similar, like, light yet full, like very light formula but super full coverage. But yeah, so I'm gonna get closer so maybe you can see. I don't know, hopefully my camera's picking it up, but I mean, you can see your pores like a lot with this foundation, and I haven't noticed any different between my primed side and my side without a primer. Like, it's just kind of equally sunk into my pores on both sides. The wear time hasn't changed either, like from side to side, so if you don't have a primer, it's NBD. So it's just kind of like, you can just see my dry patches and everything, and it is definitely, you know, just kind of sitting in my pores. So I feel like it makes my pores look bigger. I don't know. The Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer that I used is pretty mattifying, but it doesn't really fill my pores in too much. So maybe I'll try like a smoothing primer next time. Maybe I'll do like a smoothing primer here and just do like a hydrating one here. I don't know. But besides that, like, which do seem like major issues, but overall, like, I'm really impressed with this foundation so far. Like, if you don't get too close, I look really good. I think this would be really good for photos, but I feel like if someone was like right here, they'd be like, damn, you got some big pores, girl. But besides that, I think it looks good. I definitely like it more than the Too Faced Born This Way because that just like melted off of my skin after like 6 hours. And I feel like as soon as I powder my nose, I'm going to look really good again at a distance. As long as someone's like not right here. Does that make sense? I don't know. I will see you guys after my shift to let you know how I look at the end. So, yeah. See you soon. Okay, so I'm back home. It is now 8:18 in the morning. Sorry about my dog, as per usual, making noises. I'm also sorry about my appearance. I have now been up for 22 hours, and I just got off of my shift at work, so I'm very tired. So I'm sorry I'm not looking my best. But I am going to give you an update on how the foundation did the rest of the night. I think overall it did very well. I think that it still looks nice. I did lose some coverage here, like I mentioned earlier. And you can see more of my freckles now that I've had this foundation on so long. What time did I put it on yesterday? Around 4? I think it was around 4. Maybe? Anyway, I put this on around 4 yesterday, so I've had this foundation on for 16 hours. I don't know if it would last 24 hours like the company states. I think at 16 hours, though, it looks just as good as the Estee Lauder Double Wear looked after I'd been wearing it so long. So I think that's really impressive considering this foundation is so light. It has a very powdery finish to it. Like when you look at it, like it really looks kind of like you had powder on. I was thinking that later in the night. I'm wondering if maybe if I like sprayed MAC Fix on my face, if it would kind of make it look more natural. But it did get into my pores a lot. But I haven't had any more problems with like getting into my fine lines or anything. I did notice some dry patches along my chin here. But besides it sticking to my dry patches and seeing my ginormo pores, I really like this foundation. I think if you have oily combo skin and you don't have really big pores, this could be like the foundation for you. I'm glad I bought this foundation. I don't think I'm gonna be returning it because I do really like it. I especially liked it more throughout the day when it's kind of worn down a little bit. So I'm gonna try to apply it maybe with a beauty blender or with my Sephora 55 Pro airbrush because I think that might give me a lighter coverage. So I definitely like it though. I think it did a really good job, and I think considering it's been 16 hours, it still looks really good. So I'll zoom in so you can get a close up. As you can see a lot more of my freckles and, you know, just some blemishes coming through. But I still think that I have some coverage. I still really don't have any redness showing, and overall I think I look pretty good. I just don't have as much coverage. I forgot to mention when I was talking about this foundation that it is formulated without parabens, sulfates, and phthalates. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. It doesn't have coconut water in it like the Born This Way foundation, but I really think that kind of made that foundation too dewy for me. This one is a little bit too drying, but I'm gonna try it with a hydrating primer and see what happens. As for the side of my face with a primer and the side of my face without a primer, I really don't think that it made any difference in the wear time or how it looks. So if you don't have a primer, I wouldn't worry about it unless you have drier skin and you want to be a little bit more hydrated. But MAC Fix Plus might also help with that too. I don't know. If you guys have tried this foundation, definitely let me know down in the comments below what you thought of it and any tips and tricks for me. I do overall really like this foundation. I think if you have a lot of scarring, a lot of discoloration, a lot of acne, that this foundation would be really good for you. Also, if you have oily skin, this would probably be really nice for you because I didn't have to powder until like 2:30 in the morning and it still looked really good. So definitely give it a try if you're on the oilier side. Can't wait to hear what you guys think about it. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I love my subscribers. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful and if you would like to see more foundation reviews. And check me out on Facebook and Instagram. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Bye!